So, as most of you already know by now, they tried to kill President Trump yesterday and failed. But I think it was an inside job. I think it was set up. Also, I mean, it's pretty embarrassing how bad the female Secret Service agents were. And for sure, DEIs like this. I mean, I'm tired of the bullshit. I just want to say this. I'm tired of the gaslighting. I'm tired of the nonsense. I'm tired of the bullshit. First of all, females should never be in law enforcement, nor should they ever be in positions like firefighting. I'm not saying they don't do a job. They don't do as good as a job as men do. Jobs that require physical prowess, physical strength, physical feats of strength, aggressiveness. But nonetheless, I think it was an inside job. That's all I'm going to say. How is that the only buildings in the whole goddamn area with a clear line of sight to Trump were not covered. Whenever I talk to my friend who is a police officer, used to be a police officer in Illinois as well, and work in the federal area of Illinois, and when Barack Obama would come to town and speak, they would cover up all the manholes. Every single building that would have any line of sight at Barack Obama when he was on detail would be covered with federal agents, Secret Service, police officers. Yet the only building with a clear line of sight, and the only building, and this guy literally puts a ladder up, has an AR-15 M16 assault rifle, and crawls up on the building with a ladder and crawls across for minutes and shoots off 5 shots. Meanwhile, federal agents sit there and wait and don't do anything about it. And how is the only buildings, that's all you gotta say, the only buildings in the whole area that had a clear line of sight should have been occupied by federal agents. This should all have been covered. This should all have been under surveillance at the very least. Also, there was an interview with the BBC of people saying for 2 to 3 minutes they were yelling about the person being up there.
So we walked up, and probably 5 to 7 minutes of Trump speaking. I'm estimating here. I have no idea, But we noticed the guy crawling, bear crawling up the roof of the building beside us, 50 feet away from us. So we're standing there, we're pointing at the guy crawling up the roof.
And he had a gun, right?
He had a rifle. We could clearly see him with a rifle. Absolutely.
So you mean to tell me that federal agents, Secret Service agents with sniper rifles and sniper scopes and lookouts didn't see this guy with the George whatever Guy Fieri haircut here, carrot top, fat dude here. No offense, sorry. Shouldn't talk derogatory. Shouldn't ad hominem attacks the guy. Can't help myself. This idiot here and all the rest of these people see a guy bear crawl, military, on his arms and knees with the rifle and a ladder put up for how many minutes? 2-3 minutes. And you mean to tell me the Secret Service didn't see it? The snipers, I'm sure you've seen the snipers, the ones that took out the dude with a shot through the head, that were, as Trump was on the stage here, there's the crowd, there's the shooter over here to my right, his right. He's turned talking, the bullet hits him in the ear. There is a sniper right to the right of Trump as well, up on a building right there. There's 2 of them up there watching. They see the guy after he fires. You mean to tell me they were looking at that area? They were looking at him. It is an instant kill shot. As soon as you see some guy with a gun, you do not have to wait for him to take a shot. If you see a guy with a gun and your job is to protect the president, that guy is, there's no rules of engagement. I have to wait, we're going to wait for him to fire first. No, you shoot him instantly, no questions asked. If you're carrying a gun and you're crawling and you're taking sight, you don't have to sit there oh, I wonder what that guy doing crawling on the building with a rifle is doing. I don't know there, Bill. What do you think? Oh, well, let's just wait and see what he does. And then inside job.
Absolutely. We're pointing at him. The police are down there running around on the ground. We're like, hey, man, there's a guy on the roof with a rifle. And the police were like, huh, what? Like they didn't know what was going on. We're like, hey, right here on the roof. We can see him from right here. We see him. He's crawling. And next thing you know, I'm thinking to myself, why is Trump still speaking? Why have they not pulled him off the stage? I'm standing there pointing at him for 2-3 minutes. Secret Service is looking at us from the top of the barn. I'm pointing at that roof, just standing there like this. And next thing you know, 5 shots ring out.
So you're certain that the shots came from that guy on the roof?
100%.
Okay, yeah. After the fact, we don't need to watch this anymore for that. We know that 100%. After the fact, we know that guy was the shooter. There's all kinds of video clips out there and information coming through that it was an inside job, and so much evidence. Right here, 42 seconds. The counter snipers didn't take the shot at the shooter sniper. They were looking at him for at least 42 seconds with the earshot on Donald Trump and failed at the president. And yeah, did the CIA do an inside job with Thomas Matthew Crooks? Let's watch and see how long this goes on for. These dudes literally are sitting on top of a building to the right of Donald Trump, 7 minutes and 20 seconds before the shots, with binoculars. There's their rifles, there's all their scopes and whatnot, watching the areas. You mean to tell me these guys are that stupid? With a $3+ billion budget, that they're not sitting there and you can't see a dude, some redheaded Guy Fieri looking dork guy, apparently with no military training, can see a guy crawling on top of a roof, putting a ladder up. The cops in the whole area don't see that. 150 yards away. And they can't see him. They're looking at him right here.
That's when I left office. That was the lowest point, and that comes...
Looking at him, 42 seconds. They're down there looking at him. Here's a better picture as well of where the shot was. You mean to tell me the only buildings in the whole... This is the only buildings. These are the only buildings. These are, I guess this is where the guys were set up. This is where they were set up. There's buildings here. But these are the only buildings in the whole area. Are you kidding? The only place where an advantage to shoot Trump from is these buildings. In the whole area. There's no buildings here. There's no buildings anywhere. You can see. These buildings are behind. There's a giant stage. You can't get through. You can't see it. This is the only clear line of sight and the only buildings in the whole damn area that gives you a clear shot at Trump. And you mean to tell me that this guy just got a ladder, got all around through here? All through here. He literally came through here with a ladder. Like, he had to come from this parking lot or somewhere, walk around through here, or was it over here? Was it here or here? I don't know. It doesn't matter if he came this way or that way. It doesn't make it any better. So he came through a parking lot. I can't remember if he put the ladder here, but I think he put the ladder there. So he comes through the parking lot, the only parking lot in the whole area, puts a ladder up, gets up on top of the ladder, and then, like, military guerrilla crawls, or what do we call it? I don't know. I'm not. I never served, so pardon me for my ignorance. But he crawls along the ground, do like a military, like shimmy around the ground, up to here, get to a clear sight. The snipers are over here, looking at him.
Right from the government services, comes right out of Border Patrol. Take a look at that. So that arrow is the lowest amount of illegal immigration ever in recorded history into our country. And then,
bro, as soon as you see any guy crawling across this thing, you shoot him in the head. The deep state is 110%. They literally are looking at him with sniper rifles. Look at these guys, and they don't shoot him. That's the ladder. Yeah, that's the parking lot. So you put the ladder there. He put the ladder here. He puts the ladder right there and then gets up on top and brings, like, this guy. You don't see a guy with a ladder. No one whose job is to protect the president gets a ladder and goes across. Come on, man. Inside job. Like, there it is again. That's the only building in the whole area with a clean line of sight to Trump. They tried to smear him with fake Russian propaganda. They tried to throw him in jail. They tried to wreck him financially. They tried to assassinate him. If people are not seeing, I mean, obviously people are not going to see what's going on. As Bevanov said, Yuri Bevanov, ideological subversion has happened. People have been brainwashed. You can put the facts right in front of their face. You can show them to their face. God could come down and tell them what's going on, and they are so brainwashed they wouldn't see that what is happening. But it's obvious that, okay, to finish the video off, there are two outcomes. I think it was an inside job. The only other outcome, which is, I mean, that's where they were right there, by the way. That's where the people were. You mean to tell me these guys here with sniper rifles didn't see this guy with scopes walking across to shoot him? You don't, that's like, really? I could say it's massive incompetence, but it's an inside job. And that's it. It's an inside job. 100%. To be this incompetent, you'd have to be blind, deaf, and dumb to not be able to see this guy putting a ladder going across with other people are yelling at him from over here or wherever they were. I don't know where they were, around here somewhere. People saw him. And these guys' job is to be watching. Like, that's it. Why would there not be secret? Okay, like I said at the beginning of the video, my friend who's a federal agent was a police officer. Every building in the area surrounded with the sight line to Barack Obama is covered with Secret Service agents. Their Secret Service agents would be all around this. Cops would be all around this because it's the only place where you could hit them. But they had none. The guy got a ladder and walked up there. I don't know what else I have to say. Inside job. This is fucking nuts. I'm going to say this also before I finish. If Trump doesn't win this election, it's rigged. End of story.